I'm back in the chapel this week, preparing to tomorrow night teach the first of 3 weeks of a course on Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who's a theologian and pastor in the 20th century. In the closing years of his life, before he was executed by the Nazi regime, from his prison cell at Toggle, he wrote the contents of what we've now come to know and call his letters and papers from prison. Among the things he wrote were a few poems, and this one struck me as I was reading through this today. From a gray prison cell under the wickedness of man, he writes this vision of men and God that he titles Christians and Pagans. It's 3 short stanzas. I'd love to share it. Here it goes. Men go to God when they are sore bested, pray to him for succor, for his peace, for bread, for mercy for them sick, sinning, or dead. All men do so, Christian and unbelieving. Men go to God when he is sore bested, find him poor and scorned, without shelter or bread, whelmed under weight of the wicked, the weak, the dead. Christians stand by God in his hour of grieving. God goes to every man when sore bested, feeds body and spirit with his bread. For Christians, pagans alike, he hangs dead, and both alike forgiving. Sometimes religious people or people who have core convictions regardless of content can tend to begin to look down on other people, separate themselves, and think themselves higher. What a rotten sin this is, an impulse in us. What is striking about this piece is that if anyone would have cause to look down on some others, it should be Herr Bonhoeffer, who is tortured, imprisoned, soon to be killed by people who have no right to do so. And yet, what comes into clarity of mind in his prison cell is the universal nature of the love and mercy of God. If religion is anything, it is at least in part, at least in the Christian sense, the humility to not see others as different from us at all. While we appreciate individual differences in cultures and beauty, there is a solidarity that we are called to see all of us the same. And our scripture is so full of examples of this, whether it's the Pharisee who stands condemned, thanking God that he's actually not like the tax collector, or other stories. Yet along comes this Jesus in his life, death, and resurrection, who shows mercy and grace for all people. And in the Gospels that tell us, if you love people who just love you, what's special about that? Everybody does that. Pagans do that. No offense to pagans. But what is really beautiful, what is really godly, and what might be just as hard to do outside of a prison cell with people than in a prison cell away from them, is to truly offer to one another the tangible love of God in our kindness, and yes, even in our grace and forgiveness for others. May you be found faithful to offer that to others. And shameless plug, if you want to come learn more about the life and work of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, I'll see you tomorrow night at Grace United Methodist Church in North Augusta. Meal starts at 5:15. See you there.